In this video we will continue to model our little robot. So here we will model this part or the arm, and maybe if we have time we will model the hips and the beginning of the leg. So first of all, here we can see that it's really simple shapes that we will use here. So here we have a sphere shape, here we have a cylinder, another cylinder, half a sphere a little deformed, half a sphere a little deformed too, and here kind of cylinder shapes there. So it's simple objects that we will add, and just with the addition of these little objects we will have the shape of our arm. So let's go, and with Shift A I will add just a UV sphere. This UV sphere, I will go into edit mode directly. Don't forget to go into edit mode. I want to keep my origin point there, and I will move my object there in transparency mode, maybe to have something a little more convenient to see, and I will just scale it up like this just a little. I will go in side view too, and with GY I will have what I want, maybe just a little rotation 90 degrees to have, yeah, this orientation will be better. And now this sphere, I can rename it shoulder. Good. Then I will make the arm there, so it will just be here a cylinder, and this cylinder I will just keep all the options like that. I will go into edit mode, or you can manage the radius here if you want something thinner. And I will go just in edit mode now, and with R 90 degrees and G and S with the dot numpad period, I can just focus on this object now, and I will place my object that it will be inside a little the two other objects, the two next objects, and I will go into side view and see what it will be here. So with GY we will just put our objects here. Good. So now we have this object, we can rename it, and it will be the arm. Good. Next one. Here it will be the elbow. So the elbow, it's still a cylinder shape too. So what I will do, I will just duplicate this object here and keep it there with the right click, and now I will go in edit mode with it and make a rotation 90 degrees, then a Z, and then a S, and then move it into the right place, a little SZ again, not that bad, GZ maybe a little, okay, good. And now if we go and see here, we should have a little rotation like this into the side view, and like that we will match more or less, and with RX you can manage this a little more precisely, but we will match more or less the geometry here, okay? And this one will not be arm 001, it will be here the elbow. Good. And then I will take this one and duplicate it again to create my forearm here. So I will go in edit mode and move it after duplication, and with just SX I will have more or less what I need. Okay, let's have a look on top view. We have more or less what we want, so this one will be the forearm. Good. Then we will create this one, this shape here. So this shape seems a little kind of half sphere, and to verify that we will just add in object mode, we will just add with Shift A a mesh. This one will be a UV sphere, and we will go into edit mode directly. Don't forget, I want to keep here my origin point in the center, and here I will just make a G R 90 degrees S to have at least the right here, the right diameter. something around that should be good. Nice. And now with SX we will have and try to match the shape as much as possible. Okay, so here we have a nice curve. Here it sounds not that bad. And now we can just take everything here and remove the vertices. So now I would like to be able to match here as much as possible. So what I will do a little EX and scale it down just a little. Okay, and now I make ES one time, ES two times, and I close like this. Like this I will not have a triangle deformations problem if I want to make a subdivision to my object after. Okay, so here we have our object. Good. So this one here will be the wrist. So let's go there, call it wrist, and here we will have our hand. So we will make more or less the same. We will add here a sphere, nothing crazy for now, and make in edit mode a rotation 90 degrees, then a G, then S, then a G, and S again. So maybe put the right size into it and make a little SX to match as much as possible the shape, the global shape of it. Okay, and let's say we are happy with that, with SX a little again maybe. Good. So now we select what we don't want, and it will be this. So we will remove the vertices, and we will try to match as much as possible here and to link the two pieces. So for doing this, first of all, we can see that the axis is not perfect. So we will select everything, and we will try to be at least this axis in front of this one. Okay, and now we can just select this loop with Alt left click and make an extrusion into the x-axis and make a scale, and now we'll have something similar there. And we can just make a ES two times and close with F, and now we have our hand. So try to rename everything. Okay, we don't want here any sphere or cylinder or whatever. It will be everything renamed well. Good. And now I would like to add my fingers. So my fingers will be one object only. What we will do for the fingers, we will add just a cylinder, and I would like to add this little, here we can see on the drawing we have kind of little separations like that. So the fingers will be in rubber. It will be a part of the robot that will be flexible. So for this we will do a kind of more organic shape, let's say. So to do this shape we will go into a cylinder this time, and we don't want that much vertices. By default it's 32, maybe it's a little too much, so maybe we would like something like 16 or 20, let's say. Yeah, 20 will be enough. Good. And now with this shape here, I would like to create a kind of dome on the top. So I will go into edit mode here and select with Alt left click this part, and just with Ctrl B I will can, and increase with the wheel of my mouse, I will can create this kind of dome very easily. Okay, good. So we have our shape. And to create the little lines that I just talked about, we will just go into solid view here, and with Ctrl R we will add a lot of loops. Something around that can be good. And we will select now all the loops just one by one, and you let one between each selection. So like this you will have, you will have in the end this kind of selection. Okay, then you will extrude, and with a right click you will keep it into this place, and then you can make Alt S. Good. So now we have a global shape that is satisfying, and now we select everything in front view, and we will try to match as much the shape as possible. So in edit mode we will move now our object, and with R and S and G, and we will focus on the object with the numpad period here, make a rotation again into wireframe mode. Okay, we will try to match this as much as possible, so something around there can be not that bad. Okay, and while we have one of these objects, we can duplicate it and make a rotation like this. The most important is to not have something that will, it's okay if it's still cross each other inside but not outside, so you have to take care about that. Sometimes you will have to scale maybe a little, or to move it inside or outside, depends what you want. Shift D here for that one again, and I will have my fingers more or less quickly, and I will make a Shift D again and make a rotation, and G for the thumb as well, maybe a little bigger for this one. Good. Perfect. So now we have all of this mesh that is here. If you want to make something a little more accurate and doesn't have too much vertices here, what you can do is just select the face here, the face on the beginning. If it wants to select one day, no, it doesn't. So you can select by loop here, by selecting this loop, and with Control plus you will just Control plus just like that. Okay, until here, let's say, and to be sure that it's still inside, and you will just remove the vertices. Okay, because we don't need those vertices now, and we will make the same here until here. Let's say we'll remove the vertices again, and again remove the vertices we don't want, and again. So it's really to clean up what you want, but this one is not mandatory. If you keep it inside, it will be okay. But whatever we did here our finger, so we will rename this as finger. Good. Perfect. Now let's have a look into top view. Here we can see that the orientation of everything that we did add recently doesn't match the beginning of the arm. So what we will do for that, we will go in edit mode for each object and make a GY. Okay, and you can see that now it's quite better. The same for that one, a GY, and the same for that one, a and GY again. And now everything is well in place, so I have my arm here. So if I go into solid view, I will have something like that. What I would like to do is to add some modifiers into it, at least the mirror modifier. So if I add a modifier to the first one here, I can tell to the others to add the same modifier. So I will take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and that one in the end, because it's him that has the modifier, and I will just make Control L, and I will just link the modifiers, and like this I'm sure that I will have the same modifiers both sides, like this. Okay, so for now we just keep the little shapes like this. We will add some details after, little lines, interesting lines into our shapes, but for now we'll just keep as it is, and we will add modifiers and maybe add some little details, but it will be on the last video, this one. So let's talk about here the hips. The hips, it's a kind of sphere shape, okay, oval sphere shape. So let's add a sphere. a UV sphere, we will go into edit mode directly and make a rotation 90 degrees, and we will try to match as much as possible the global shape of it. So to do this, we will just do a scale with S and a GZ and try to match the global shape there with S again, and with SX we will have kind of oval shape just like that, very quick and easy. Now we can see that this shape is a little different. If we look at it there first, we can see that into edit mode, into wireframe view here, that it's quite really more little here. So what we will have to do to match this as possible, we will just scale it down a little and move it to match as much as possible what we have. Have a look at it into front view. You can see that we will have now some loops to edit one by one, because here we can see that it goes flat to follow the shape of the top here. So we will have to manage loops by loops for this part after to match here the right shape. So to make this and to be sure that we will do the same on each side, what we will do, we'll deselect everything with A, and with B we'll select only this part and remove the vertices. And now we'll add a modifier, just a mirror modifier there, okay? Like this we are sure that we will have the same on both sides here. Good. So let's try to match this shape as much as possible now. If we have a look at it, here we can say that it's quite bigger there already. So let's make a little S with the clipping here, like this it will not cross, and move it here into the right side like that. Good, so now we match more or less this one. But if we look at the wireframe view, we see that here we have a little too much geometry. So what you can do here is just scale down this one and move it up. Scale down. For that one it will be good. Scale down this one too. And scale down this one too. Good. Maybe this one GG to have a better here. Okay. So try to have a smooth surface as much as possible and to match the geometry. So now let's have a look there. It's quite better than before. Maybe we'll not follow the lines perfectly on the top, but at least we are not that bad in front. Now we would like to match here these two circles that are here, okay? And to do this, we will just have to take these ones here and to create the right circle. So let's select this one and make an S and a GZ to have the right here, the right circle here, and let's have a look there if it matches the in front view. So it doesn't match really good, so we will make a S and a GZ again to be sure that we have something that is quite similar. Let's say let's have a look on the side view now. Okay, it's already a little better, and for that one now we will try to go inside as much as possible. So somewhere around here will be nice and smooth. For these loops here, we'll just select with Ctrl plus here, and just with SX we will try to make something a little flatter, okay? Not that much, but that follows well the line here. So just with SX and G I can move my selection like that and make the thing match as much as possible the reference. So this one may be a little gx. So as you can see, this line cannot match perfectly in the side view. It will not be perfect, but we have something quite good to work with for now. So what I will do now, I will just go into face selection mode, and I will go into solid view, and I will just select this loop here. Okay, so it will be there that we will have this kind of joint around. So what we will do, we'll make an extrude, keep it with a right click, and with Alt S we will go inside like that. Okay, I would like this to be here to match perfectly the line of this one and of that one. So I will take back here this line with the vertex selection, only that line. Sorry about that. And with GX we can move it here to match this shape. And we will do the same with that one here, and in front view with GX we can see that now it will be quite better now. Okay, so for the hips we are happy with it, let's say, for now. We will come back to it after to add little details, but for now we have more or less what we want to work with. So let's go there, and it will be hips. Good. Next one, it will be the thigh here. So we have this kind of shape. This one will be one of the most complex shapes that we will have to model for this model. So let's start by create here the right loops that we want for this new shape. So we have here, we are sure that around this part there will be this part that will be inside this. So we will use these two loops to start the modeling, and to do this we will just make a Shift D and duplicate these loops, and with right click we will keep it there. And now we will separate this object to another. So we'll make a P and we will separate the selection. And now we have hip 001 here. So I will come back into object mode, go into hips 001 and go inside this. Okay, I will make a right click loop tool bridge to have to bridge my two loops here, and now we can start the modeling in side view. So let's go into side view, into wireframe mode here, and let's have a look on this part. So I would like to take some faces and to extrude them. So maybe I will take, how much I have here, faces, I have maybe 8 faces. So yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good for what I have to extrude. So I will extrude this and try to match it until here after. Okay, so to do this I will just make a global extrusion, something like that. Okay, so we'll have a global extrusion. As we can see, it's really not what we want for now, but we will try to make better. And to do this we will just go there into front view, and we will just make SZ0 to make it totally flat, like this we are sure it's totally flat, and we will try to match here at least with SX the global shape of that here. Good. So now we have a look there. We can see that it's not really what we want for now. So what we will do, we will try to recreate this kind of shape here and to recreate this kind of circular shape that we have there. Okay, and to do this, what we will do, we will try to match as much as possible the two loops here. So with Control 7, sorry, I will have here the possibility to see it from the bottom here, and I will just select my loop here and scale it into the y-axis and do more or less the same and move it just to try to match as much as possible the shape of the 2 here. Good. So now let's manage this curvy shape that we want there. What we would like to do is with the wireframe mode here and select just with B each time like this, you select 2 at once and you don't have to select too much like that, and you will create just a round shape. So just with B, G, and you will try to make something good like this. Perfect. So let's try to do this with as much accuracy as possible. So we'll do the same for this 2 here, okay, until here, and the same there, and the same there. It's just a beginning, because after anyway we will after have a full circle, and we will create a full circle with the loop tools. But for now we will just select this 2 here, and with the side view we will just extrude and try to match as much as possible the circle. Okay, it doesn't matter the number that you have for now. And now we can just make a F here to finish the modeling on that part. So now we will just select this, and with SX we will try to match here the side of here. Good. So we have a global side that is not that bad. Now we can just select this loop here, okay, with Alt Shift click in 2 times, and with right click we will make a loop tool circle, and it creates a full circle just directly like that. Okay, and we will make the same for that one. Loop tool circle. Good. We will try to match as much as possible in side view here, to match really the shape of the 2, to make something totally the same. So with little scale and move, if you want to like this, you are sure that all the vertices are in front of each other. Okay, with a little rotation maybe. We are not that bad. Good. So now we have this kind of shape. Nice. Almost finished. So now we would like to select again this loop. Okay, make a ES. We will say that we will do the 2 here. So this loop I said, and this loop here, and we will make a ES. And in front view we will make a SX to put it back there. Okay, maybe a little bigger. Yeah, and SX again. Good. So now we have our shape, and with the 2 loops selected like that, now you will just make a right click, loop tools bridge, and you will have the global shape here. So now we will manage the curve that we have here into the wireframe mode. We have here a nice curve like that, and it will be the same in front view. We have a nice curve like here. So what we will do, we'll just match by adding loops by loops. So let's add the first one here. Okay, good. So this one in side view we will just make S. So with Ctrl R I did add my loop here, and with SY I will try to match as much as possible the size of the reference image. Okay, so we did add the first one here, and let's add another one, maybe 2 others like there, and then we will select these loops by loops, and again with SY, and in front view with SX if needed. For that part, yeah, a little SX maybe, not a big one. Okay, so we'll have something already better. Now what about this loop here? A little SY will be interesting to have this nice here, nice curve like that. Okay, let's come back to wireframe, and we will add 2 loops as well here in the center of this. So with SY again, we will try to match the shape as much as possible, and with that one, SY again, and a little rotation, SY and G. Good. So now in front view, let's have a look of the 2 last that we did add here. So here we'll need SX, nice, and an SX again, nice. So try to make something progressive that will have a nice curve in the end like this. Okay, and now we have our object that is well in place. So this one, it will be the thigh, so I rename that one thigh, and everything is ready. Now we are in solid view. It's half an hour for that one, so I stop here, and we will make the end of the leg here and start to add some details into our robot into the next video.